Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Evelander. And today's episode, we're going to check out Campstream. This is going to be one of the first outside testing, especially in the Rivian R1T. Now, what is the Campstream, you say? Well, it's a great device that allows you to harness the energy of your HVAC system, pump it into your tent, so you're going to have a nice cool night on a hot day, especially here on Joshua Tree, where at the moment it's about 102 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through the installation. We're going to test out how much energy, or rather how well it can pull the temperatures down to a comfortable level that we can sleep at tonight. And we're also going to monitor the energy consumption of the Rivian R1T pushing on the HVAC system. Um, I'm guessing it's going to be about 1 to 1.5% per hour, which is not too bad, but I think it depends on how much demand that you're putting onto the AC system. So what we're going to do right now is I've had the tent sitting in the sun. It's about 114 degrees. Let it heat soak. I just want to get a real life situation of practical uses of the Campstream device coupled with the rooftop tent and the R1T. And so essentially, I don't want to run the system all through in the day because that's not a very typical. I don't know if you can see right now the family. I have the awning set up in the back, a couple of chairs. Everybody's just had lunch not too long ago. We're waiting for the sunset so we can check out the meteor shower that we're going to hear tonight. And from the weather, it's going to be about 80 degrees, which is not too bad. It's a little bit breezy, it's a little warm, but I want it comfortable. And that's what Campstream is going to do for me. So let's have at it.
Being in the moment is all there is. Set out for the highest peak. Challenge what you thought was possible. Refocus. Reevaluate. Recharge for the next adventure. With Campstream.
So while the family's over there enjoying themselves in the shade, drinking cold drinks, it's about, let's see here. Let's see what time it's about 5:31. It's not too bad. It's going to be probably another hour to the sun creeps below that. And I wanted to go ahead and just record this while I still have daylight and kind of just take my time going to this. So the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to record myself open up the tent. We're going to monitor the different temperatures between the tent being closed. As it opens, I'm going to go ahead and open up the windows, let all the hot air flow out. That's typically what you would do in a situation like this with a tent, and see what the temperatures drop down to and what the starting point is going to be. Then I'll go ahead and walk through the Campstream. My son over there, Evelander Jr., yep, he's going to help me out film that, and we'll go ahead and get that set up. I'm not going to quite turn it on just yet because, again, it's pretty much real life situation. I don't need it until I go to sleep or at least get close to it, and that's why I'll monitor the temperatures as it goes down. Hey, Evelander Jr., you gonna help me out? Yeah. Okay, cool. I got some buddies over here, little Forerunner. I got another R1T. You've probably seen him many times. And the launch screen, recently swapped that out for the, I think the granite one. And he also got the limestone, you're right. He also has the iCamper 2.0, just picked that up, used. So full disclosure, if you haven't really, full disclosure, you haven't realized by now, I am sponsored. This particular episode is pretty much sponsored by Campstream. I also have my other sponsors. Let's just walk through them real quick while we have. I mean, you have this truck sitting on here. If you remember, if you saw me at Overland Expo Pacific Northwest, I put the topographics on the side of the truck and the tailgate to add a little something to that. That way, when you see me coming on the road, you know it's me. There's no mistaking it's me. We have Dirt Comp, which makes the trail swing on the back as a accessory entire carrier that attaches to the hitch. We can look at that later. We have the megawatt rock sliders by Electruck 4x4. I'm gonna skip over to Thurn Fabrications. Why? Because we got these beautiful 20-inch by 8-inch wheels wrapped in BF Goodrich 295s. So that's 35 inches on a Rivian R1T. I've been running them for a few months now already. This is actually the first official, maybe second official off-road trip I've done on this combination, but I've been daily driving it because I want to get a feel how it is on a daily drive. So, and of course we got Campstream, right? That just went on not too long ago. They came out, we did a test fit on the R1T. They had a show at Tesla Takeover at San Luis Obispo. I'm gonna be, and probably already by this video kicks out, I've already done it. We're going to Rodeo X Rigs on Viejo near San Francisco, where I'll be displaying the Campstream. So hopefully you guys will run over there and check me out. And then of course we got iCamper. iCamper is my new sponsor. I'm gonna affiliate with them, consider an ambassador. They hooked me up with an iCamper 3.0, iCamper SkyCamp Mini 3.0. I also have their annex system with the meaty tent inside. And so we're going to try to get that one nice and comfortable and see how that works out. And last but not least is ProSpeed Rack. Now I have nothing on my vehicle for ProSpeed Rack. By the time this video shoots out, I've already had everything that ProSpeed Rack is going to hook me up with. And we're working on a bed rack system and a roof rack system. Let's get this rig looking like a proper rig. Yes. All right. So I'm going to set this camera down. I'm going to start working on this tent, get that open. I'll start recording the temperatures and I'll get back to you with my thoughts. What's up?
Something personal.
Oh, something personal. All right, back to the episode. All right, so there's that sensor I was telling you about. It's by Govee, does humidity and temperature. Just throw it anywhere. The batteries last for over a month. It just keeps out a record, and I can connect the phone to it using Bluetooth and download all the information from it. And you can get, it plots it out all on a graph. I'll show you that in a few minutes. So I'm just gonna leave this in a tent just to keep monitoring the temperatures. But everything feels pretty nice here. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and open up the windows here, zip up the fly from the outside, let the breeze come in and just naturally cool the tent down. And while we're doing that, excuse me here for the bad video, I have the comfort mattress from iCamper. Yep, so I'm gonna put the pump on this one, inflate it as I'm working around the tent, and it should be inflated by then. I'll zoom out, get a better picture. There you go. So I got the iCamper comfort tent here. So while I'm going around and setting everything up on the outside, I'm gonna go ahead and put an electric pump on this bad boy, get that inflated to about 4 inches, get it nice and comfortable here. Now I'm not gonna use these sleeping gear here. It's gonna be, I'm gonna drive this temperature down to about 71 or so, or find a comfortable zone using the Campstream. We're gonna put it in that window over there. I'll record myself doing that. And looks like at least we got some sun time left there. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of there. And I'll keep working on here and update you guys as I go through this. All right, so I got the Campstream gear pulled out over here. I got the iCamper tent pretty much set up, just pretty much basic. So I'm gonna take this opportunity right now while I still got sunlight to share with you what you're gonna get with the Campstream 1, and you got the Rivian R1T. It's gonna be very similar if you have the Tesla, but for today we're gonna talk specifically about the R1T. We'll go over the pieces real quick, what they do, their function, and then we will go with the installation and how I set it up. We'll go with the HVAC settings. That's gonna be prime for this particular setup. And then we'll go ahead and start our testing once the sun goes down and everybody settle in. I'll probably take the time to go ahead and set up the annex room over there, get the mattress inflated as I discussed earlier. But let's do this real quick while I got the sun out. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. There's a lot of socializing going in the background over there, which is fun. I got a bunch of kids, 2 different families out here, actually 3 different families, you count mine. We're just enjoying ourselves out here in one of the mines in the BLM land, just west of Joshua Tree. So let's go over this real quick. So here we go. The Campstream 1, got the sun behind me, so don't mind the shadow. So the very first thing you're going to notice when you get this is our high flow adapter kit. So this particular piece, this is a pre-production model, so that's why it's 3D printed, but the production model is going to be molded plastic, a lot heavier duty. And this sits in one of the air vents of the R1T, and I'll show you which one that is. It's the one underneath the navigation screen. And so that allows you to capture the air, speed it up into the hose. Connected to that, you can get a short hose. One end connects here, and the other end connects on the other side of the window adapter plate. Now this sits on the front passenger side. It's molded perfectly to fit within the Rivian window door. It features handles, so you can grab it. They latch in through a latching system, which I'll show you once I get it in there. It also gives you this kind of a rain fly, so that if it does rain while you're using it, say that you're doing this during the winter time and it's raining and you want to warm yourself up in the tent, that'd be the way to go. You also get these USB extensions. This one's male to male, and then this one's female to female. This is the longer one. This will go inside the hose through here, and then this will run down the main hose into your tent, so that way you can route power into your tent and utilize that. So next item that will connect into this spot here, it's going to be the longer hose. I don't recall how long this is, but it is long enough to go all the way to the back of the tent, in the back of the vehicle. Or if you happen to have a ground tent, depending on where it's located, you can just kind of just route it out to the floor there. Now you're wondering, I saw that, it came out. Well, I kind of took this apart. The reason why I took this apart is because from my friend, good friend, Peter Lopez, I think it's Luna Prado, I'll put down his Instagram handle here. He makes these adapter pieces that go into the zipper of the tent. They're typically for diesel heaters or AC units, and they got this block off plates, so you can block one in, or you can have two hoses and do a complete close-in system. This does not come with the Campstream, nor is it required to use as a setup. It doesn't have any performance gains. We'll see what it does as far as keeping the hose in the tent. See if we'll try to use it with and without it. Anyways, I disconnected it just so I can have it better fit in there, but normally this is on there pretty good. Again, this is production model, pre-production model, excuse me. So for right now, we'll just ignore this until I feature it later. But I'll put some links down to show where you can get it. All right, so next on the list here is these thermal sleeves. Now these sleeves are double-sided, meaning you get one side that's reflective, especially when you're trying to block the heat out, and the other side, like this one, is black. So it depends on the situation. If you're in the winter and you want to keep the air in here as warm as possible, especially from the environmental elements, then you want the black side sitting out so it can absorb the heat. If you're using the cooling side of it, the AC portion of it, then you want it the reflective side out to deflect the heat, especially from the sun or any external. I'm not sure that we need this at night. I'm going to try to run a test later on with and without it at night to see if there's any performance gains. There's definitely huge performance gains when you're utilizing this in the sun. But we're not going to be doing that tonight. So, but I will install it just to show you guys how it looks. So, so you can see how that works. So they give you enough so you can have enough for the external hose, and then another one so you have an internally that's within the cabin. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much it. So we're going to go ahead and do the quick install. So we'll get this hose into here, and then we'll plug this into the vehicle, and we'll get everything set up. Okay, so first step, we're rolling down the windows. And look how we install this. Let's see here. So it goes in here, and it clips in. We got these clips that release it. All right, and then we're just going to stick that into the vehicle. Done. Okay.
We're going to continue the installation with the interior. We're going to take the high flow adapter and attach it to the vent just underneath the screen. Place it at about an angle pointing up, and it should snap in place as you place it down. Then we'll take that short hose from the window adapter plate and insert it into the high flow adapter. This is how it should look like.
Okay, so with the USB, nice about the Rivian, they have USB in the back of the seat here. It's USB-C. You plug it into there. And then you come in here and you can squeeze it in there. Actually, it might be easier just to pull the hose off. All right. Add the USB there. Right in that hole. Lay it over it. And close it back out. There. Make sure it snaps in there. Good positive lock. Okay. Then you just take that USB end and then plug it to the back of the headrest. Now you can get a longer one, and you can also plug it into USB port in the back here, the HVAC, or if you have the 12-volt system underneath there, plug it in there, or the two USB-C plugs here. So here's that longer USB cable. So I'm going to unwind it a little bit. Basically, it's going to travel inside the hose here, and then we'll feed it. We'll connect it to the other USB cable that we stuck out. Then, as we route the hose to the vehicle, we should be able to have the other end sticking out on the other side, and we can utilize the power from the vehicle to power whatever accessories or lights that you may have in the tent. All right, so let's start that process. Let's see if we can't do this. Straight shot down, right to the other side. Here we go. Cool? All right, walk with me. Come closer. So here's the other USB cable. So we'll go ahead and just connect that in there. And let's see if we can't expose this so you guys can see it. Come closer. So there we go. So we're going to go ahead and feed this in here, and it snaps in. Then if you have inclement weather or just for added protection, we'll zip that in there. Okay. Then the next deal is we're going to route it across here at the top, right through that creek, into the tent. So I'll meet you on the other side. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open this side of the tent up. And I got the hose long enough where I can just simply reach over, grab it, and bring it in. Here's that USB cable I told you about. Then I can just grab this, zip it up, and use the zipper to latch onto it. And of course, all these windows that are open, I would close them for the evening and let that air start pumping. But for the meantime, for the lights, we can do that. And I think that's going to work out pretty nice. Get this circulation going on over here. I can manipulate the hose if I want, point it up, probably move it up a little bit, bring the bottom zipper up, and do different combinations like that. All right, so while we're here, setting up this tent, we got the Campstream hose here. I know I've been talking about inflating this mattress. We're going to go ahead and do that now. So this is the comfort mattress that iCamper has for the SkyCamp Mini 3.0. This will probably fit in a 2.0 as well. Also other tents as well with this kind of footprint, pretty close to the same. As long as you have, it's about 54 inches here. I can't remember, 70, 78 inches over here. But this is theirs. It's pretty thin. You've probably seen a lot of reviews on it. With it being deflated like this, I can pack more in here. So I have 4 pillows hiding back there. I got a queen size sleeping bag, single sleeping bag here, and about 2 or 3 down blankets there. And I got some of the annex stuff back there in the corner. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that going. We're gonna check the temperatures of the tent while we're here, since it's been some time since I've done it last. And so we'll start off with this. And so you can actually just open these up, and it's self-inflating. This one is set up for out, so we'll go ahead and pull that out, rotate it. And when I say out, that means the air comes out of the tent. I keep that so that doesn't come escaping out. So rotate out, squeeze it back in there. So now air can go in, but can't go out. And we should do that for these other ones here too. So you can kind of hear it hissing. Sucking air in. So we'll do that for the other ones just to make sure no air comes in. And then to help speed things up, I got this flex tail gear. It's a mini pump. We'll slap it in there and we'll turn this bad boy on. Also a light. Let's see, get this, turn on the light. Oh, okay. So I don't know how to use my tools. There was nothing wrong with it. You got to double click and to turn it, the light on off. There we go. Nice and bright. It's got a little hook here so you can hook it. Kind of cool. It's chargeable. It's got, where's the USB? So there's USB there. And then it's got a fan. So we'll go ahead and hook that up. Let that go up there. I'm not reviewing this mattress just yet. I'll probably make another video on that. There's a lot of videos out there. I just wanted to show you what I guys have, how fun it's going to be, very comfortable for my family. My wife and my youngest will be sleeping up here, while my oldest and I will be sleeping not out here, but in the annex room. So they'll be comfortable, rather, so they'll be comfortable with the Campstream. It's going to be all sealed up for them, while my son and I are going to have to toughen it out here, which is fine. I think it's a good test. We'll compare the temperatures throughout the night with here, compared to the temperatures on a typical tent, and see who comes out on top on here. While I'm here, other additions that I have, these are just lights that I've had from my other tent. So I kind of just threw them in there, kind of nice. Yeah. And that's it. That's the only add-ons. Mattress, lights, and Campstream. All right, enough said. Let's get this bad boy going. Okay, so if you want to use the thermal sleeves, open it up. It's got Velcro, so that when you wrap it around, Velcro will attach to it. So the best way to start this is to start on one end, get that started. Then you can work on the other end, get that going, and then work your way around until you meet into the center. Now, because the hose is curved, it's going to bundle up. I'm putting this up here so that I can open and close my doors. So all that's left is to put the rest on the other ones. We'll see how that looks like. All right, so finally got finished everything done. It's now 7:48, which is not bad. Sun's already set. There's the Campstream hose still on there. Got my lights up in the awning. Walk this way, check out the iCamper Annex. It took me a hot minute to figure out, and I'm still kind of learning how to set it up. But I kind of figured out what shape it needs to be in order to follow where to land the poles and where to land these straps. I might move this one. I feel like it's too close, people can trip. Walk over here. There's the inner tent. I have a tarp underneath it. Probably have to adjust it to bring it over here just so that this doesn't get ruined a little bit. All right, it's getting close to 9 o'clock, and I have the tent all zipped up, all the windows inside and outside. The temperature is still on, or the temperature sensor is still recording. Take a peek here real quick so you guys can see. So, not much different, still pretty bright in here. But everything's closed up. So just don't turn off the lights. Nobody's in here right now. And we'll go out in the car and I'll show you how I'm gonna set this up. All right, so I'm in the car. Tent sealed up. Everything looks good here. So you guys can see it better. Turn it off. All right, so we're gonna go to AC, Turn that bad boy on. Make sure auto's off because we want to regulate the temperature in the tent by the fan. Unfortunately, on the app, you can regulate the temperature on the app, but you can't shut off the vents. And if you start controlling the vehicle with the app, these vents open. So then this whole cabin's gonna cool down, and a lot of energy is gonna go to waste. So we want everything focused in this hose. So we're gonna keep it on cabin control here. We're gonna set the fan. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dots. So it's hard to get 50%. So I'm gonna do 3 dots. Let's see how 3 dots feel. So we got the 2 center vents. Let's check the back. Aha, backs are on. So let's turn those bad boys off. And then let's see here. It's on AC, so we're good. So let's see what the temperature's on the, okay, yeah, sorry, one last thing. We want the compressor to kick on, right? So I'm gonna put the temperature at 70. Let's just a good even number, 70. Easy to remember. So compressor AC temp set for 70, so that's what's coming out of here. Blower motor is just a little bit less than 50, so that's the pressures in here. I can just hear the compressor kick on just now. Then we're gonna go to settings. We're gonna go to about, and we're gonna go to our trip, and we'll reset that. And so for total energy usage, we're gonna keep an eye on this, and it's gonna clock as we sit here, running it overnight. This is gonna increment. Now, how do we keep this going while we're outside the vehicle? I'm glad you asked that. So I'm gonna keep that open. The trick is, you want to trick the system to thinking we have an occupant in here. And we can do that with a seatbelt. Now it thinks somebody's in this seat here with a seatbelt on. So the HVAC system's gonna continue blowing. I mean, I guess you can put it in pet mode, but again, pet mode is gonna turn on the vents. You don't have control of that. So this way we're doing it, we have full control of the vents. The only air is coming out of here. I can already feel some pressure in here. All the windows are closed. So it's still gonna cool down in here in this cabin, but we'll see. So it is now, let's call it 9 p.m. We'll come back in here and see how much energy is being used. And then we'll check the temperatures. So I'm gonna check the temperatures now, clock it for 9 o'clock, and then we'll check the temperatures. All right, so it's close to midnight. We've consumed 6.5 kilowatt hours, which in total is about 4.2, 4.8%, I think it was, which comes out to about 1.6% drain every hour. So 1.6 is pretty good numbers. And that's kind of with me feeling it, but that's kind of exactly what I figured out. So right now, since I have it at 70, let's see where I'm at. 70, about 70%. The ambient temperature is still 90 Fahrenheit, and the so the ambient temperature is 90. Sorry, I'm pretty sleepy. And the tent temperature is 73. I didn't check the humidity, but I'll check that. I'll put that on the screen. You guys can see what the humidity is at the same time. I'll do a commentary on it. So that's where it's at right now. I'm gonna raise it up to 71, and then go down here and push it back down here because I think it's just gonna get too cold in the tent. Actually, we'll just do one more. We'll put it halfway. I think there's a sweet spot right here. Half fan speed, 71. I'm gonna let it sit the way it's at right now. We're gonna let it go all through the night. Midnight, let it run for 6 hours. I'll wake up at 6 a.m. so I can start packing everything up. but I'll grab all the information here first before I shut it down. Ambient temperature outside should be about 70s. If it gets pretty close to the same temperature somewhere around, let's say 4 or 5 o'clock, I'll probably just shut it down, because there's no sense in having this running at the same temperature as outside, right? So the idea is just to keep it cool. So what I'll probably do is just open up the windows so the breeze can come in, and that'll keep the family comfortable. All right, so I'm at 65% right now. If I let it run to 6 a.m. at 1.6% drain per hour, that's gonna be pretty close to 10%. So I'm gonna be down to 55%. And it started at 70%. So from 70 down to about 55, we're looking at about 25% drain from 9 p.m. to 6. So we'll see what it really comes out to. That's my estimate on there. At the 50% range, I'll still be about 150 miles. It'll be more than enough to get out of here. So I'm not really too worried about that. Yep. So I'll see you guys in the morning. If anything comes up between now and then, I'll let you know. Until then, good night, guys. See you soon.
Good morning. I'm gonna be a little quiet here. Everybody's still sleeping. It's just past 6 a.m. I start breaking down the tent here, but I want to go inside the truck and check on the state of charge of the vehicle. Check out the results. Why don't you guys come with me inside and let's see what we got here after running to Campstream. I think it was about 9 hours or so, from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. 9 hours straight. Yeah, let's go check that out.
Okay, so we got a big visitor in here. That's what happens when you keep opening the door at night. So I'm about to air him out. So anyways, so guess what? So after running for 9 hours, from 9 p.m. all the way to 6 a.m. or a little past 6 a.m., we have consumed 13.7 kilowatt hours. That brings it to about 1.5 kilowatt 1.5 kilowatts per hour, which is pretty much what Campstream has seen in their preliminary testing, and what I've seen also. And this is what I wanted to share with you. So we've been letting it run all night, still running right now. Still running. The cabin's actually pretty cool. The tent itself, it's about 83 degrees. You're like, oh, wait a minute, what happened to the 70? Well, I opened up the front window, the front door, to kind of cool the annex room as well, just kind of create an airflow to pass over the kids and the wife so that they're comfortable. And I think it's a comfortable temperature for them to sleep in. It feels colder than that. You have to kind of experience it yourself. It feels much colder than that. And actually, if you come out to Rodeo X Rigs in Viejo, I'm gonna have this thing running all day, especially here. And you can come out and see that the temperature reported inside and what it feels like is completely different. Yeah, so don't mind me here. So I'll show you that one. And from all that range loss down to 60 or 59%. So that's from 70 down to 59% for running all night. Now that is a significant drop just in general when you're thinking about depending on how far you are at. I'm not that far from a charger, probably 50 miles or so, if that, from a charger. So as you can see, I got plenty of range. I'm in rally mode right now, so this kind of thing wouldn't affect me. Now if I was much further out, where I was really pushing them to the vehicle, then I'll have to reconsider my options. But like all of my trips, I always plan everything ahead. I mean, you almost have to. It doesn't matter if you're running an EV, if you're running an ICE car. Plan your trips ahead. Let's try to make it smooth as possible. So what I'm gonna do, we'll go ahead and turn everything off. Let the kids and wife wake up to the natural temperatures. I'm gonna start dismantling everything
slowly wake everybody up. I want to try to get out of here before the heat hits.
Now that we're back from Joshua Tree, we had a lot of fun checking out the meteor shower, playing with the iCamper tent, and testing the Campstream 1. Now initially I wanted to continue testing and involve the heating portion of the HVAC system, but with our currently temperatures that we have here in California, I didn't think that was gonna yield any really good results. My initial studies, I was getting somewhere between 3.6 and 3.9 kilowatt hours, which is staggering. And I think a lot of it has to do with the ambient temperature outside. As soon as I started pushing down on the temperature control, I couldn't get it low enough to stay in heat. It would kick into AC mode. So typically I wouldn't want to have the heater on so high. For an example, when I use my diesel heater when I go off camping, I usually have it around 21C, which is about 68 to 69 degrees Fahrenheit. And I couldn't set the temperatures down that low without it kicking into AC. So what I really need to do is wait for cooler outside ambient temperatures so I can set the temperature settings correctly in HVAC system. So that would have to be another video. For the results that we got testing at Joshua Tree, my family thoroughly enjoyed sleeping in an iCamper tent. After speaking with my wife and my kids, they really appreciate the ingenuity of Campstream and the system that they provided to pull the AC out from the vehicle down to the tent. So, for this product, I got the spousal approval. From my perspective, this is a great tool to use, especially when it's pretty hot or warm outside. I mean, it only uses 1.6 kilowatt hours, which comes down to about 1% of your battery pack per hour, which is not really that bad. And you really don't have to run it for long periods of time. For my example, I started at 9 p.m. and I ended at 6. Some may go longer, some may go shorter. It just really depends on your situation. But as I stated before, I like to plan my trips, so I would plan accordingly if I were you. But I can tell you this much, I'm not leaving home without it again, especially in this heat. Now I'm very excited to see what else Campstream will come up in the future, especially for gadgets for the Rivian R1T. If you're interested in Campstream, I'm going to leave the link down below in the description so you can head to the website or the Kickstarter if you want to make a pledge. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, hit subscribe, share it, do whatever you can for the algorithm. Let me know that you're enjoying this so I can continue making these videos. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.